Hello, I'm Aisha. This is a Vitamin Om Yoga. And today I've got a class that's really energetic. It's short, it's sweet, it is a little core, and lots of stretches. So in the best way, the stretches that maybe you should already be a little warmed up for. So maybe you're not straight off the couch for this one. And if you are, just listen to yourself. We're gonna move a little bit on the quicker side, and we're starting on our blocks in a plank. So blocks the medium way so that you can grab onto the sides of it. And just be aware here that anytime the block is halfway on the mat, they become a lot wobblier. So for now, just straight on the mat, shoulders are about, or hands are about shoulder width apart, or where you're comfortable. We're holding here 10 seconds, keep breathing. Good. And then take a slight step back onto your blocks, adjust with your feet, so that you have a little pressure with your hand heel on the edge. And then we're gonna come back into a downward facing dog and forward into a plank. If you want, it's an exhale, down dog, and inhale, plank. Let's keep it going. You know, this isn't about me micromanaging your form, but notice your ankle mobility. How are your feet moving? Where's your weight in your hands? I'm not saying there's a right and a wrong. I just want you to observe yourself. Good. And then we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Good. Adjust your dog so that you're super comfortable. You can stay on your block. Left leg up, whoops. And bend the knee and open the hip and find some scorpion circles here. Good. Same leg, circle in the opposite direction. Nice. And then step that left foot forward. Let's find a twist, sinking into your right block, left hand high. Good. You might want to take your feet a little bit wider if they're narrow and on a train track, just because we're going to use balance to come up and into a revolved warrior. So that's why I was like, maybe I need to be a little warmed up before this. But take it nice and easy. Slowly begin to reach those left fingertips a little bit up, out to the side and down. And you can start here coming into just this open arms, nice revolved variation of warrior. And then take your left fingertip towards your right thigh. And then maybe your right fingertips come up and over, just maybe. Good. You might enjoy this a little extra if you really squeeze through that right glute. Nice. Now revolve back to Anjanasana so the legs stay more or less the same, but the hips are gonna shift, arms up into the sky. Let's find a dynamic motion here. Exhale, tap that back knee, cactus the arms, maybe a little back bend. Inhale, reach. Good. Next time you come up, straighten up your arms, take a big preparatory breath in. We're gonna move into our warrior two here. Spinning that back heel down, reaching through the fingertips. Sitting deep in your front leg. Nice, continue breathing and reverse your warrior. Nice. Circle your arms back to the block. We're gonna find a standing split. So turn those back toes forward so that you're a little bit more in a square hip there. Good. Lifting your back right leg. Option to just balance here. And then I also give you permission to find a little extra energetic, dynamic Shiva squat. Tucking that right knee behind the left, as you bend and straighten in the left leg. Nice. Finding our way into a standing split again. We're sitting up from here into a plank on our blocks. First, you're gonna step your right toes back, knock your blocks over so that they're back to that medium setting, and then step your left foot to meet the right. Good, hold it here. If you want it to play with a little balance, you can take the blocks so that they're a little half on, half off the mat. Gives you a little wider stance in your shoulders. It's gonna force you to create a little bit more engagement. We're not going through a regular vinyasa flow here, but you are just building heat in your plank. Nice. If you moved your block, take your blocks together again and find your down dog. Move the hands onto the blocks further back so that you can just easily pivot back and forth, down dog, and plank. Good. No rush. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. We're gonna reach our right leg up into the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, find those scorpion circles. Keep breathing. And then change direction, no rush. And then once you feel nice and even, step that right foot through, find your twist. You're still on the block with that left hand, right hand lifts up to the sky. Good. Consider taking that slightly wider stance just for stability. We're gonna lift our torso up. Our arms are still nice and wide. Good. You're welcome to just stay here. And maybe you take your right hand to the left leg and your left fingertips over. Squeeze that right glute. Good. Circle your arms forward, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, tap the back knee, back bend, cactus the arm. Inhale up. Just about 2 more, 3 more. Nice. Next time you inhale, reach those arms, setting up for your warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Open up. Spinning the back heel down. Sit a little deeper in the front leg. Keep breathing. And then take those right fingertips up and over for that juicy side stretching warrior. Good. Spin your arms back down. Pivot on the back foot, pivot on the back hip, so that you can tilt that those blocks up again and come into your standing splits. Option to just balance, option to find your little Shiva squats. Nice. And then next time you're reaching through that standing splits, if you were Shiva squatting, set those right toes, left toes back. Meet in a plank on your block, right toes back. Do you want to challenge yourself and go a little bit off the mat with your blocks? Good. And then come onto your forearms, nice and easy. Your option to clasp the hands or to keep your arms more parallel. We're gonna dip the left hip to the left, right hip to the right. Keep breathing. This is a grand finale, y'all. We're here for another 10. Keep breathing nice and deep. You're gonna meet me in a child's pose in 5, 4, 3, 2. And either your knees together or wide apart, your choice. Balasana. Come up onto all fours and just thread your left hand underneath your right armpit. Twist. Good. Come back through center and shift sides. Good. Come back up through center and just find a seat. Now, if we end class here, you are gonna be on the more kapha dosha balancing side, which means you might feel like very energetic. And that's fine if that's what you need. If you need something a little bit more calming, balancing that vata dosha, then consider doing a mini meditation, maybe one of the breath works. We are gonna take a quick centering break here. I just wanna give you some insights to your own energy, or like how to read it and what naturally happens, usually. So let's take palms face down because that is pretty grounding. And just close your eyes. Notice yourself. Good. Rub your palms together. Take your hands to cup your face. Release your hands and come back. Thank you so much for joining me. And please write down a couple of sentences of how this made you feel, and just to remember, just for yourself, if even. And then I'll see you in the next one.